Hey friends, it's Van here. Welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, thank you for stopping by. Today's video I am talking about something that I have a pretty good experience on because we have been on it a few times, and it is tips before you book a cruise. And we love cruising in our family, and so does we got like our friends into it. My best friend, she loves cruising as well. As a matter of fact, the reason that I thought about doing this video was because we had just finished booking our next cruise. And so there was a lot of tricks that I did in order to get what I wanted, and so I thought I would share that with you guys. And I don't know why I never thought of doing it before, but I will do other videos, kind of like a cruise series of tips and tricks on cruising, excursions, and all that good stuff. But for today, it's just for if you are looking into a cruise or if you want to start cruising. These are kind of my recommendation for you to start off with. So first of all, when you want to go on a cruise, you've got to find a date that you want to go. And just keep in mind that when you go, there's peak seasons and there's off-peak seasons. For places like Cabos or Cancun, or not Cancun, Cabos, or like the Western Caribbean, the Eastern Caribbeans, all those places, people want to go there for nice weathers. And sometimes it's more busier during the spring and summertime, and so the prices will go way up. And then if you go like around December through February or through March, even September through February, the prices will be a little bit lower. And so just keep that in mind when you're picking out the time that you want to go, even though I know sometimes it's harder for families to go because kids are in school, but don't let that stop you. Maybe go during your spring break time, although spring break time will raise it up a little bit. So hopefully your spring break time is not the same as everyone else's spring break time. So yeah, just keep that in mind, and then pick a location. There's 2 points in that. So pick a location that you want to go to. For example, Cabo San Lucas or Eastern Caribbeans, Western Caribbeans, and there's even within those parts, there's different ports that they have, even though it's still Western Caribbean, but there's like different ports that they go to. Or if it's still Eastern Caribbean, especially the Eastern Caribbeans, like if you're going to Alaska or you know, things like that, there'll be just one area that you go to, and it doesn't matter what you pick. But like Europe, Eastern Caribbean, Western Caribbean, there's different ports that you can pick. And so you need to make sure that the date that you want has a ship that's going to the ports that you want. And then you need to make sure like what ship you're going on to as well. There's a lot to look at. I know it's pretty overwhelming for your first cruise, you know, when you're looking into booking and everything like that. You don't know what ship to go on. You don't know which company to go on. There's Carnival, there's Royal Caribbean, there's Norwegian, there's Princess, there's Disney, and it just goes on and on and on. And the only cruises I have been on are Carnival, and I'm pretty happy with that. You know, this time around we were actually looking at going on Royal of the Caribbean, and that is one of the reasons why I say you have to pick the location and the date, because the week that we wanted to go on, and we looked at Allure of the Sea, is not going on to the ports that we want to go on. And so finally, my best friend, she can only go like on that week, you know, that specific week, because she has like kids in high school and can't take time off during, you know, the middle of the year and stuff like that. And so we can only go on the week that they're off. And when we looked at the Allure of the Sea that week, the location that we want to go to, that ship is not going there, and so we had to compromise, and so we ended up looking on Carnival again, which I really don't mind. This time around that we're going on the Carnival is going to be a nicer, newer ship than the previous ones we've been on, so we've kind of like started our way up from the bottom. So the first cruise, we actually got married on a cruise, so that's going to be a separate video coming up pretty soon about our experiences with getting married on a Carnival cruise. But we started off with that one, like the lowest one. We did a 3 days because we had to pay for like a lot of people that was in our wedding party, family members and stuff like that. And so we just went on a short 3-day cruise, and that was the first, you know, cruise experience, and that was fine. And then so the next ones that we went on was all 7 days, and same with this one. Actually, this next one is going to be 6 days, but that's fine. So pick the date, location, the length that you want to go, your port that you want to leave from, if you want to leave from Miami, if you want to leave from Fort Lauderdale, Long Beach, you know, wherever. And then you check for the available ship that is going out from that date. So there could be a couple or there could be just one. So do your homework, look on. What we did is when we see a ship that's leaving on that day, I like automatically will go on to YouTube and look up that ship's review and look at the ship and see how it is. If you're a first timer, then it's really not going to matter to you what ship you go on. Hopefully you won't pick like the best ship out of the whole thing, because then your standard is going to be set pretty high for your next cruises. So with us, we started like at the bottom, you know. The first one we did was Splendor, and that was one of the smaller ships from Carnival, and then we went to, I think it was Miracle, and then we went to Magic. So we kind of stepped up. So look out for that. Do, you know, lots of review videos of the ship that you're going on. And then the next thing that you do once you've got your ship picked out, the date that you're sailing from, and the locations that you want to go, then look for the deck and the availability. So the deck goes from 1 to, you know, however many there are, usually the top ones, and then the one is like way down at the bottom. And if you get seasick really bad, or if you think that you might get motion sickness, stay away from that one. Pick like anything that's 5 or above. We have stayed at both actually. The first cruise, we've stayed at every room that there is. We've stayed at balcony, interior, window. It doesn't really matter to me. I think they're all the same because you're always out and about anyways. So at this point, I really don't need a balcony room. It would be nice, but I don't need a balcony room, or I don't need like an interior room. I mean, a room with a little window or a porthole. Because all you see is just like this circle with the ocean out there anyways. You really don't see anything. You can't really sit there and watch for whales or anything like that. So, you know, it doesn't really matter. Although, on our first cruise, on our wedding cruise, we got a balcony suite, and we did see dolphins from that suite. So, I don't know. But then the second cruise, we saw some dolphins right next to our ship, just sitting out and about, like just having lunch, sitting out and about on the Lido deck. So that, you know, right there explains to you that you really don't need a room with a window. So, and then also check to see where that might be located, like look on the floor plan, so that if your rooms might be like, if you're getting a room up on the top somewhere that is not under the casino, on top of the casino, or like a club, or you know, something like that. Comedy clubs and clubs won't go like all night long, but the casinos will go ding 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 all night long, and you're gonna lose sleep from that, and you're not gonna be able to enjoy your vacation. So just watch out for that. If you're a heavy sleeper or, you know, such thing, then it's not really gonna matter for you. But yeah, so anyways, and I have like my little notes right here, so if you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking at. I just want to make sure that I get everything spoken about that I want to share with you. I've written like little notes and stuff like that. So there's different sites and places that you can book your cruise at. You can go straight to carnival.com, you can go to Travelocity, you could go to like other traveling sites, which I don't, because I don't trust them, and I've heard bad stories, and I just don't. I just stick to the things that I'm used to when I'm booking. And I looked on carnival.com this time around for our rooms and for you know, our cruise, and they had the deck that I wanted, but the next day that I looked at it again, that deck was gone. Like, I wanted deck 9, deck 10 in the front or in the middle. And I looked the night before, and I was still talking to my best friend about it, you know, like deciding which one we're going to book and stuff like that. And so I looked again the next day, and it was gone. So sometimes the Carnival has that certain amount of rooms kept to themselves, and then they will give a bunch of other rooms on the same deck to like Travelocity or to Orbitz or to, you know, for example, hotels.com or something like that, just an example. And so check on other sites to see what other ones are available. We also called a travel agent, and they also had some other rooms available on the same deck, or like kind of similar deck for the similar price. Sorry, that's a truck going by. Anyways, and so we ended up, like, I ended up not getting it through Carnival. which is fine. I do have a membership with Carnival, and I do have their like, you know, fun VI, very important fun person or something like that. Yeah, VIFP club thing. That's how I remember it. But it's not going to matter, because once you check in with Carnival, once you check in online, you're still going to be registered through them. So another thing that I recommend is to go check on Travelocity or other sites for the same floor plan that you want, or the same deck that you want, for maybe similar price, cheaper price sometimes, you know. And then also, this time around, the other times I didn't do it, which I so wish I did. I just started using Ebates like for real, beginning or half of this year, like starting in March or something like that. And so definitely use Ebates. For the last cruise that we booked, I got 7%, and they just had an event where it was like 15% back, cash back or something like that, but we got 7% back. And if you are talking about thousands, that's a lot of money back to you. So definitely use Ebates before you book your cruises. Flights, you don't get a lot. Flights, you only get like $1.50 per flight. But for the vacation packages and the cruises, you get 7% back. So definitely check out Ebates. And if you don't have Ebates, I will leave a link down below. Feel free to use my link. I may get something from it. I may not. I don't know. I've never gotten anything, but I will certainly leave the link down below. And also another tip is, when you book your airplane tickets into your port, into wherever you're going, I suggest that you get there a day before, even like at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Just get there the night before, because you don't want to like have a flight delay, you know, with all the travel and like all the flight delays and all the airplane problems these days. You don't want to have your flight canceled and then you're going to miss your whole cruise, and then you're going to be responsible to get yourself to the next port, to get on the ship. I've heard of people, you know, having to do that, and you just don't want to be that person. You know, you try to save like a couple of $50 or something like that to get an airplane that will arrive like on the day of, and it's just not worth it. And you can just get like a cheap hotel or motel or whatever, you know, to stay the night before. That way you wake up, you're rested, you're well rested for the day to come. And then another tip, that if you are a traveler, maybe like a retired couple, or you know, you are a college student and you are free, you don't have kids, you don't have family to plan, and you don't have to buy like 4 or 5 airplane tickets all at once, planning for everyone to go. Maybe if it's just you, or if it's just like the two of you are like traveling, you know, spontaneously, or if you can go last minute, I would definitely check out those last minute cruises deals, because they have a certain amount of rooms. Like, they want their rooms to be booked, because it doesn't matter if it's cheap, if it's, you know, expensive. Once their rooms are all booked, then, you know, the cruise line will make their money, and so they don't want to leave empty rooms, and so therefore they will knock the price like way lower. If they have like a, I don't know, last minute crappy room, or someone else canceled, they still have that room, they will give to you mostly half prices. We have seen some like cruises to Alaska, and that is like ridiculous amount now, but we have seen it go for like $200 or $300 for a 7 days cruise. And if you think about it, is a good deal. And then, so that's another tip, is to book last minute. That will save you a ton of money, usually half or more, or a little bit less than what you would normally have to pay. And so when you calculate it out, it's good anyways. All right, and so another thing to be on the lookout for and to keep yourself in consideration are airfares. If you can't drive to the port that you're going to, you have to consider in your airfare. And also, you know, use Ebates for airfare. You probably won't get much back, but if you do like a whole package, then you might be able to. And then also, you need to remember that you need to save your money for gratuity as well. Your gratuity will be added onto your bill, so when you book it with Carnival, like straight up, you can pay the gratuity like on your bill right there. But with Travelocity, they didn't include that in there, so like we are, you know, we still have to calculate out like $200-300 for gratuity. They charge you a certain amount of gratuity per day. It depends on the cruise line that you're going on. And for us, for Travelocity, it came out to be $300 for 4 person for 7 days. So you need to plan that into your budget as well, because sometimes people will get like surprised, like they didn't know, you know, the gratuities are added on there. Like they will tell you, but you know, sometimes people are just, yeah, I'm so excited, I'm booking, you know, like this is the price. And then so like by the end of the cruise, they're gonna charge you the gratuity. You're going to be surprised by it. So just keep that in mind, keep that in your budget. And then also for any excursions that you're going to be doing, or if you're going to be booking through Carnival, that's like a whole nother video that I'm going to be doing just on excursions. But if you're going to be doing excursions, you need to plan for that as well. And for drinks, if you drink a lot, that's extra. And if you drink sodas, that's extra. All the food and teas and milk and orange juice is all free on the cruise, which is all I drink anyways. I don't drink soda, and I don't let my kids drink soda. So, well, Kaylee does, but anyway, but that's a whole nother story. So just keep those things in mind. It's, you know, the cruise that you book, and then you need to plan a little bit extra for other things that come up as well. And I will do another separate video about planning your cruise and packing and what to prepare for your cruise. I will do another video on that, but this video has been long enough already, and it's a lot to get, you know, it's a lot to process. And so I'm just gonna go ahead and end it right here, and I think I have covered everything. Yeah, so basically if you're looking to go on a cruise, then just make sure you do your homework before you book. Search around, look around, look for tips, look for experiences, you know, read reviews. There is tons of review videos on YouTube these days, and you can always just go and see, you know, watch the vlogs or something like that to see if you really like that ship. Some ships are a little bit newer, some ships are huge, like the Allure of the Sea is like huge. It's like a whole nother city on the ship, whereas like Carnival is just a ship. And I mean, there's tons and tons to do on the ship, but just do your homework, look at what you like, and yeah, have fun. I hope that helps. And if you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I will be happy to answer them for you. It just gets me really excited when I talk about cruising. And look out for other videos of cruises that I will be doing in the near future. Alright, thanks for watching today, you guys. I'll talk with you guys soon. Remember to hit that subscribe button, and have fun. Bye.